Okay, so we are having a one-on-one conversation with me and Isaac again. Welcome back. He's in Chicago and I'm in Georgia. And we thought we'd hop on here and try this to see if it works because it says that I should be able to record a video and audio at the same time. So this will be exciting if it works. So hello, Isaac.
Hello, Annette. How
How are
are
you?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
So we are
Just hanging
both
out.
non-essential employees, and
This is true.
I've been quarantined. Well, I shouldn't say I've been quarantined because I was home quarantined from, gosh, my 40th birthday was March 8th. So like March 10th, I think, until I came here. I saw one other person when I was working on the bus, and that's it. And then when I came to Georgia, I'm living on kind of a farm uh, collab place where there's like 10 people, I think. So this is the most socialization I've had in 2 months. But how are you holding up?
I'm doing okay. I feel like I've become one of the fifth walls in my apartment, but better safe than wandering the streets like I normally do.
So have you mostly been home? Like I know you went to Lake of the Ozarks for a few days or week. I don't know how long you were there, but for the most part, have you been by yourself?
Yes and no. So our salon, well, actually, the state of Illinois um, issued the mandatory shelter in place on March 21st, I believe. Um, so I stayed home for 2 weeks and was like quarantined and whatnot. The only thing that I would do is go to the grocery store. Maybe I went like once per week, which I'm still trying to practice just once per week. Um, and then once I had been home for 2 weeks without any like symptoms or issues, I decided to go to Lake of the Ozarks in the middle of the woods with my parents, and I was there for about a week and a half. Um, it was fantastic. I mean, and kind of felt safe since I live in Chicago, and Chicago has now become one of the hotspots for COVID-19.
Hmm.
But my one of the like it's kind of like a Russian roulette situation that I'm in because my boyfriend is a flight attendant for United Airlines.
Not
And
supposed to say
not sure if I can,
that.
not sure if I can say who he flies for,
I mean
but
Southwest. I mean American. I mean what else?
but I mean they definitely like. Since I have said it, I also need to say that they've been really good at practicing like um, they're checking their temperatures before you fly. You have to wear masks and gloves, and they have their own like social distancing standards when it comes to being at the airport. Um, but he's still flying, and he's flying to places like New York and San Francisco and New Orleans and Seattle. So each time he comes home, like if we're going to see each other, we have to wait like a couple of days, which really isn't even enough. But
Right.
um, so that's a little bit scary. I mean, being in a relationship with someone and not living together, and one person is working all the time, and the other person is staying at home.
Hmm.
So that's kind of wild. Um, but I mean, he's gratefully still working.
Right. I haven't worked since, let's see, I had a photo shoot on March 11th. That was like a big studio shoot. And then I had a shoot on March 22nd, which was a photo shoot of a lady that does, it was just her and I. And then but she was like 6 feet away from me the whole time we did it, the shoot. So it was like, that was the last time I worked. And today is April 28th. So the last official day where I actually had income coming in was March 22nd, which is pretty crazy. Like
That is wild.
yeah, I mean, like I haven't, and there's literally nothing I could do to get a job. I mean, my job, my job back, I take that back. There's not nothing I can do. There's certain things I could do, yes. But my job backgrounds are in photography, retail, and bartending and serving. Everything, every one of those is closed.
Right.
So,
And you, from being at the moment self-employed, you're unable to file for unemployment. And well, how does that work with like? I mean, if you if you work for yourself, is there like the PPP? Does that actually apply to you?
so
I
there's
know that
a
the
lot of it's like alphabet soup right now as to what's going on, because as a self-employed person who also had side jobs, so I applied for unemployment on March 29th, and because people told me apply for it, and so I was like, cool, I'm going to apply for it. I got on there. The self-employed part hadn't taken effect yet, but I filled all that out. Like I put my self-employment in there, but it only shows the two businesses that I used to work for, which both those businesses denied me because I wasn't employed for them at the time that this all happened. So it keeps sitting as pending because it's supposed to go through and help self-employed people out, but that hasn't gone through yet because I'm in this cycle of, well, their employers are saying no, but I'm not listed because I'm a sole proprietor. So I'm not listed as a business. So,
right,
but I still have to go in every Sunday and submit. So I have like 3 or 4 weeks worth of in progress, but it's not approved. So unemployment hasn't happened. I think I know like one or two self-employed people that it's worked for. That's it. And then the
yeah,
PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Plan, I think.
right,
Um, that one I applied for, but it was prior to when it came out again, I guess. But they ran out of money, and then, or
right,
wait, yeah, then there's the EIDL loan too. Like there's a bunch of loans, but the Paycheck Protection Plan, like you have to show all of your W-9s and stuff or 1099s, which I have those, but it was like I applied for it. Same thing, like when it first came out and everybody's like, we're all going to get $10,000 and, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And that might be the EIDL loan. But I applied for that too, but that's what I got today. But it wasn't $10,000, it was $1,000. So I'm not going to be upset that I got $1,000, but it definitely wasn't $10,000. So, but it's better than nothing. Like I have a lot of self-employed friends that they can't get unemployment. They can't get that PPP loan because it was gone. And then, yeah, it's just sucks. And a lot of them don't qualify for the stimulus. Like luckily I got the stimulus check because my taxes last year, I didn't do them. Like I haven't done my 2019 taxes yet because I was supposed to do them in March and that got canceled. And so if I would have processed them in March, I owe money and I wouldn't have gotten that stimulus check. So
oh, that's how it works.
yeah, like if you owe money, you wouldn't have gotten it. Or if you haven't paid your taxes or whatever. Did you
Oh
get it?
wow. I mean, yeah, I did my taxes, but I
But
didn't
you
owe any
didn't owe
money.
money?
No, I'm like, I am grateful. I am so grateful. So the way that this happened, as soon as I knew that I was going to be unemployed, I filed for unemployment. 2 weeks prior to that, I filed my taxes. So I got it. This is like the first time in like 70 years of my life that I got a tax return. And then the next like couple days, I got the stimulus check. Then it did take a while for my unemployment to go through. In Illinois, it's interesting because you certify every 2 weeks, so they pay you for 2 weeks. It's not every week. Um, so the first week was just like it was before April 4th, which is when the extra money the extra $600 kicked in. So I got my first one, and then the next set. So this past 2 weeks, I got paid, and that included $600 extra per week,
That's
which
nice.
which is crazy. But here's something tricky that I found out today to figure out how this is supposed to work. Um, when you file for employment, they ask you to do you want a direct deposit? And if you had done your taxes and you had gotten a direct deposit from your tax refund, then they would normally just use that. That's not true. That's a stimulus. So anyway, when I file for unemployment, you can enter in your account information for direct deposit, or you
Hmm.
can decide if you want it on this debit card. Well, of course, I wanted it direct deposit, but they went ahead and sent me the card, and then they put the money in this account on a card. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to pay my rent today. Actually, right before on this call, I was on hold with this bank in Ohio. You have the option to like, it doesn't say anywhere on the card like how much you can transfer to your checking or to your personal account. It says you can transfer some or you can. Um, and it said that I exceeded the limit of how much you can transfer. So I called them and I was on hold with them. I just like put it on speaker. I was on hold for 20 minutes before I gave up.
Hmm.
So the other option is, if you pay your rent, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure it's the same all over the place. Some property management companies will do like a payment portal where you have like your own portal to do service requests or things like that.
That's what we have.
If, if you do a direct payment from your checking account with a routing number, they only charge you like $1 service fee.
Hmm.
If you pay with a credit card or debit card, like I have my unemployment on, they're going to charge me $50 for the processing fee.
Oh no.
So I guess I'll be on hold tomorrow for however long because that's not okay, right?
No.
Anyway, but that honestly, it's a minor problem. There are
Right.
people that have way bigger issues right now,
I
and I'll
feel
figure
like it's been such a frustration though, because the amount of time that I've spent on unemployment, the amount of time that I've spent researching things, the amount of time just waiting, and like I'm in an okay place right now, like as far as like, I mean, this is the first year in the history of Annette that I've ever had money in my account at the end of the year. Like, I don't know what it was, if I just didn't do anything um, in the month of January, but normally I'm sitting like, I just am going to slide in even. And this is the first time where I had one job at the beginning of the year that was a pretty big job. And then I was like I'm okay for, 2 months, which, so I'm trying not to
yeah.
stress out about that. But the amount of time, like I've tried calling unemployment, I've sent emails, I've like stayed on the phone for a good hour while I'm doing something else, just trying to make that work. And like, it's just super frustrating. But obviously, there's a lot of good things going on right now, too.
Yeah.
with- You know, but it's very stressful mentally because there's, and it's weird because sometimes it happens in the same day. Like I'll be like super happy, and then I'll either see like a meme or I'll just have a stress moment and I'm bawling. And then
Well, don't
like I'll laugh and I'm like, oh my God, it's like all over the place.
don't you think that like as a whole we are so affected by the incoming and outgoing of finance like money that it does decide like your happiness, your emotions,
I think it's that
and
um I'm stressed because I don't know where the next paycheck's coming from, which as a freelancer, I I'm like that a lot, because I never really do know where my money's coming from. But I at least have some control over it. Like I can promote it. Like I was talking to this girl yesterday who I want to hire to be like a headhunter for me. And I was like, I don't even know when I can start looking for work, because like once the gates open and everybody says, hey, you can work again, it's not like I just instantly walk in a door and I can sell something. Like I have to be like, cool, okay guys, now the thing is I can have this. And same thing with like you have your clients that you want to come in, but you don't know the day that they can come in.
And I
And
get
so
this
it's
all
like,
the time. Like, when can I make my appointment? And it's funny because like I know we're watching the same news channel. Like
right,
I know as much as we all just the scariest thing I think for me at any point about anything is not knowing. And I
right.
think we have so many things that we don't know right now that it's hard to like you're saying, it's hard to like balance your emotions throughout the day when you're just like there's too much, there's a lot, like
Yeah.
it's just it's the tipping scale.
Yeah. And when I was home, when I was
Um
oops,
so
okay. And I'll have to
what
apologize to anybody listening to this podcast
oh
because
no
I'm
go ahead.
recording
Go
it
ahead.
on the computer and I have really crappy internet. So there might be like sometimes where it sounds like an alien talking to you. So sorry. Just a disclaimer.
Well, let's talk about why don't we let's talk about what is actually happening right now. I mean, we've talked about what we're going through and why, like
Right.
what's happening in our lives, but like what's causing it? What is the big situation that we're in? What is keeping us at home? And
Right.
I
Because someday
uh,
we're going to have to look back at this and be like, oh my God, this happened. So
yeah.
weird.
So I'm really I've really had to distance myself from Facebook for a while because you know
Everyone's
and
a doctor.
I know that you well yeah I know that you can relate to this as well. We have so many different types of friends, um from like all the way right and all the way left and everything in the middle.
Yeah.
um and I think what really makes me nervous is that when we see something on Facebook of all places, a lot of the times if we agree with it, then we believe it.
Hmm.
So we have to be careful with that, especially if you see something that you agree with. Make sure that you check it to make sure that it's true, because you're just as guilty as the person that you disagree with who's sharing that meme or that post that they believe in because they didn't do their research.
Right.
So
Isaac is a researcher. Isaac's a number person. I'm like, oh
what is
my
happening right now is
God. Yes.
I've been I've been wrong, and I'm okay with that. Like I like to know everything, and I like to be sure because I don't want my friends and my family to be guided by misinformation. So I did a little research for you guys. All right, so the little the bottles of Lysol or like the cleaning products, the memes that you see, and they have the back of the like what it kills, and it says coronavirus on it.
Does it really say that on it?
It does say that, but with surrounding that meme, it usually says something like, "If this has been around forever, why are we so worried about it right now?" Okay, so coronavirus. You
Human
got
coronavirus. Is
okay.
that the difference?
Coronavirus, here it is. Okay, so coronavirus, this is from Wikipedia. I went directly to it and I was like, I gotta know. Coronavirus is a group of related viruses that cause diseases in mammals and birds. And guess what we are? We
Mammal.
are mammals. Okay, so in humans, they cause respiratory tract infections,
Respiratory
um,
tract infection.
from mild for there are vaccines to treat animals. However, there are not vaccines to treat humans for coronavirus. Now, COVID-19.
This is the first time it's jumped from an animal to a human, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So why is it human for?
So that's one of the reasons why this is so dangerous, because we don't know what it can do. Like, we're even seeing other effects to the body just this last week, effects to the kidneys, heart, blood clots, things like that. So COVID-19 is actually the disease that the coronavirus causes. So that is the respiratory disease.
And it's 19 because it was discovered in 2019, correct?
Correct. So coronavirus disease 2019. COVID-19. So I also looked up some stats. I can only give stats at this moment from Illinois, and then I have stats for United States and for the world. And this isn't to like scare anybody. This is just like so that you know the facts. And these change dramatically every single day. For instance, just yesterday in Illinois alone, we had 2,000 more positive coronavirus cases. Most of those are found in Cook County, which includes Chicago. So we have the highest number. The population here is much more. Also, testing is being done more often. And the more people that are tested, the more people that we're going to find are testing positive. So this is as of Illinois alone, there are 45,883 confirmed cases of COVID. There are 1,983 deaths. This is only Illinois. And then in the United States, we have 1.03 million confirmed. And then we have 58,947 dead. Guys, this is this year. So when you compare it to the flu, you have to remember these numbers are ever changing, and
it's only 4 months in.
And we're only 4 months in. And the flu, those are over a whole year. Mm-hmm. The entire world, there are 3.08 million confirmed cases, and there are 217,000 dead.
Just insane.
And then, okay, so
and obviously we're not on here as doctors or fact people or anything like that. So don't call in and say, "Hey, this is wrong," or "This is a number that we're getting."
These are numbers that
April 28th
are accessible to anybody and everybody, and they're also like, these numbers are cross-referenced. Like, you can look it up on multiple sources to find this information. Mm-hmm. Whether you believe that these are made up numbers or people have died and they've just categorized them, you do with that information that you do. So I also wrote down the unemployment rate in Illinois alone.
The unemployment rate?
In the United States, 6.6. Yes. U.S. is 6.6 million people are on unemployment right now.
Is that the highest
and
ever?
I'm with
you.
I mean, I don't know that for sure. I'm pretty sure that is actually the highest. What this is going to do to our economy, I'm not sure, but I do know that with that many people on unemployment, it's seriously affecting us. Businesses are not surviving. But it's that scale again. So what do? Do we just let it run its course without any type of treatment? Or, I mean, I'm all about trusting my neighbor. I would love to be able to trust my neighbor, but can't always trust your neighbor. In the suburbs of Chicago, if you try to go into a store and you're not wearing a mask, they'll turn you away at the door.
Yeah. And that's not Chicago how Georgia is. Georgia is like way, I feel like it's super loose here compared to what it was in Tennessee.
So, this is what I see in Missouri. This is what I saw. This is to protect your chin from getting the coronavirus.
Okay, so I have this one, which broke. And for those of you who are listening, we are trying on mask, but I broke it the other day and it smacked me in the face. So this one was the one that I was using. Then I got a nicer one, this one,
Oh, yeah,
which
that's the good
fits
one.
my
That's like
nose. But then I'm just breathing in my own CO2 and it makes me about pass out and it's hot. And then my mom made some the other day, which this is an Iowa one. So this one's a little bit too big for my face, but it still works.
yeah.
So I have options, and I have Purell that I take with me, and hand sanitizers that I take with me, and Lysol.
Yeah, so
That's a good one.
so this one,
Did you
my
make it?
boyfriend's friend made these for us, and they are really great. They're like these are the kind that I see advertised. Goes up over your nose, and it's multiple layered too, so it's nice and like it's at least a little bit better protected. I just wanted to read something real fast for um, this is from the CDC. Just ways to help protect yourself and to protect other people. So one, obviously, you need to wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 minutes, coughing or sneezing. If soap and water are not readily available, try to use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Cover all surfaces of your hands, roll them together. Blah, blah. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth because that is how it is contracted, I believe, is through like mucus areas. Avoid close contact. Do like the 6-foot rule. Some people without symptoms may be able to spread the virus. Keeping your distance, especially when in public, is important. Cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face cover when around others. So at first they said you needed to use a 3-in-1. Those are not easily accessible to everyone. So they recommend any type of face covering, some sort of cloth. You can use a scarf, a bandana, a handkerchief, anything that you can find just to cover your face. Um, Clean and disinfect all the surfaces. One thing that I like to do, I definitely do not wear my shoes into my apartment. They stay outside of my door. And then when I get in, I always make sure that I wash my fruits and vegetables. Um,
I spray everything down. Like I spray disinfectant on bags that I pick up, on stuff that I bring in.
we're not allowed to use our reusable bags at the moment, which I think is a really good idea because you never know. People bringing their bags in and like touching things, rubbing against things, setting it down on the counter where you're loading up your stuff. Um, so yeah, being sure to spray down the bags once you get in. If you wear gloves, do not use your cell phone
Yeah.
while your
I
gloves are
thought
on.
so. People keep saying, like, oh, why aren't you wearing gloves? I'm like, I actually feel safer without gloves because one, dirty gloves from here just bring dirty stuff here to dirty stuff here. And then I feel like, so anytime I go somewhere and I do something, I wash my hands. Like, I'm like, instead of having a glove on where everybody's just chucking them in the grocery store parking lot and everything else. I mean, humans are dirty anyway, but um, like I try to wash my hands like the instant that I leave. Like I put hand sanitizer on and I get home, I wash my hands. Um, so I don't
My only
do that as
little,
much.
my little like crazy thing, I guess. I'll show you actually. They are not cleaned yet. They're each other. These are usable rubber gloves, and I only use to pump gas in my car. So
Uh,
when I'm using the gas pump, and we can like, I pay inside before I even go touch the gas pump because I try not to use the
and then
pin
you Purell
anymore.
those.
So I will soap and water these or like soak them
Hmm.
in bleach water for hair. Okay, so
We only
we
have 9 minutes left.
we have 9 minutes. I just wanted to go through a couple more things. So these are fun things. We're done with talking crap. Okay, I got
Well, we
all
want to
my
make sure
points.
everybody's mental health is okay too. So if you need
Yeah.
any assistance with that, please, by all means, contact somebody. I should have had contact numbers. Contact me. I want to be helpful.
Well, here's some things. These are some things to do at home since we all have all of this time at home. The people that aren't working from home, right? So if you have some free time at home, I found some things to do from stylescribe.com. You can do things like puzzles, virtual happy hours, games, family, or you can do like, I've played a lot of solitaire with cards. Um, get moving. You can do a lot of home exercising by using just like household items,
I've gotten pretty
or
creative.
you can use YouTube. You can do
Have you
yoga.
have you seen Ryan Heffing's post? Heffington.
Heffington,
Is it Heffington?
Huffington,
Ryan,
Huffington?
shoot. There's a guy that is a big time choreographer and he's been hosting dance parties and he is amazing. Heffington, Ryan Heffington.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so dancing too. That's
Yeah.
like definitely is that his? It's his YouTube channel.
It's his Instagram. It's at Ryan.Heffington. And he does, it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right. So you can have little dance parties.
Mm-hmm.
Some other things are you can definitely keep doing your household chores. It's a great time to organize or decorate. You can do hobbies, painting, gardening. You could do, this is probably more like what I would do with makeup.
You
You
can
can
do
do like different
tutorials.
makeup things. Or maybe you could pick up photography. That would be a nice one. Cook. You can listen to, there's a lot of cooking podcasts and audiobooks. You can try a new recipe every day or maybe once every week. Binge a new TV show, or start a new book. Are there any TV shows that you recommend that you've binged lately?
I have
Netflix.
watched so much TV, and Ozark was good. I watched season 3. I started watching Vampire Diaries, but then I realized there's like 25 episodes per season, and there's 8 seasons, and that's just too much commitment for
Like
me.
a soap opera. You can get sucked into
Yeah,
it.
I watched Outer Banks.
So, and
Dumb.
you get like into it. I had to stop. Like, yeah. But was it
Totally.
okay? It was dumb.
What one?
I'm watching Broadchurch right now. Outer Banks.
Oh, Broadchurch. I've heard that's good too.
Broadchurch. Guys, I'm a sucker for any type of like murder mystery. I'm
Same.
obsessed.
The only thing,
Uh,
so the biggest thing that sucks is that my the conception, is that the right word? Of time and days is really off right now. So like if I start binge watching a Netflix show, I'm up until like 2 or 3 in the morning watching it because I want to finish it. Especially murder mystery stuff or anything mystery. I'm like, I want to know what happens. And then it's like, then I find myself not getting up sometimes until 11, 12. Some days it's 2, 3. I don't know. I don't have any consistency right now.
I think
I also don't have any
that's one
stable.
of the things that they were trying to say. Consistent schedule. Huh?
My internet
I
just
just heard a
saying
blah, blah,
it's
blah, blah,
unstable.
blah. Mental health. There's 5 tips for coping with cabin fever
Mhm.
during your shelter in place. This was at healthline.com. I know we have 5 minutes left, so I'll go quick. This is the last little bit. They say to connect with nature. So opening your windows, get house plants, have some sort of ambient noise, get your body moving. So we just said that. Definitely exercising actually can be helpful when you're feeling agitated or restless.
And that's even just
Um,
going for a walk, even though sometime like just around your neighborhood or around your block,
yeah.
something like that.
Also, go outside. you can social distance, and sometimes just seeing other people can help you like at least breathe calmly, like realize that there are people that are going through the same thing. Quarantine buddy, make quiet time for yourself. You can take a mindful shower or bath, or do some gentle yoga. Like I was saying, YouTube has tons of yogis that are wanting you to watch their stuff. Redecorate or rearrange, keep
Build a
things
bus.
tight, build a bus, make a vision board, things that you want to do. Like, listen, I have sat here and I took 4 days, and I was like slobby, and I didn't want to do anything, and I got drunk 3 times in like one day, and like, and on the fourth, the next day I woke up and I was like, I can't do this. This isn't my life. I don't live
Yeah.
like this. And I like cleaned everything, and I started projects, things I like. I have a craft bucket of things that I just like wanted to do, never got to it. And now I'm like busting them out. I'm really excited about doing crafts. And now I'm gonna get excited on figuring out where to put all of this junk that I've made.
I kind of go in stages because I go super productive and then a day where I just crash and burn and don't want to do anything. But
yeah, I mean, that's part of taking that moment to yourself too, like creating that schedule. I think doing all of these things on a schedule, like waking up, making yourself coffee, a nice breakfast, and then maybe reading a little bit, maybe not watches, because sometimes that'll just bring you right back down. The last thing on here is this one. At first I was like, what? It says transport yourself somewhere else. So it says imagine yourself somewhere entirely different. And as silly as I thought that was at first, I'm not into video games. I've always been like, never. I will never play a video game. I stopped when I was 13, never gonna do it. Guess what? There are a lot of video games that take place in this like alternate universe or like a different place. And if you are into video games, you understand that. I've had people tell me that before. They're like, oh, I can just get away from here and be in here for a little while and disconnect from this. So
this is
you
totally
can
going to cut us off in 30 seconds.
All right, well, we can be done. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Transport yourself.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you.
It's good talking to you too. Let's do this every week.
All right, cool. Sounds
Monday.
good. Okay.
Okay, bye.